Welcome back, I'm Jonathan. Today we'll be reviewing another 4-cylinder, which blows my mind because when you're behind this wheel, it feels like a 6, but this is a 2024 Jaguar F-Pace P250. Make sure you click the link below so you can get in touch with me personally. Let me know if you want to flip a car, find a car, or source a car. We pretty much do everything here at MVL. All right, so we've done the Lexus NX 250 review. We've also done the Audi Q5. And now we're looking at another vehicle that's more in the Q5 segment versus the Lexus NX 250, the Jaguar F-Pace. To be honest with you, Jaguar is a brand that it stands for performance. It's luxury. It's supposed to be a bit more performance-based than Range Rover or Land Rover, but it's found its place. I think this car drives incredibly well. Cosmetically, I do love the design because it's kind of got the inspiration from the F-Type, and the F-Type is probably, for the money, one of the best sports cars you could buy, price point wise, obviously. But like, if you look at it, like the headlights, it's all consistent throughout the lineup. They all kind of match. The grille, again, it's got the same exact grille as the F-Type. This is the F-Pace. Sounds similar, but the F-Pace is the SUV, F-Type is the sport car, and the grille is the exact same. Even the fascia, the bumper, it's painted nice. So like this car is like a quartzite gray, and then it's got your stainless steel finishing. Again, you could choose a black optics package, which would change this, and this to more of a monochromatic feel, so all blacked out. But on a gray car like this, it shows well, because if it was all black, I think the front would be missing a few things. Like, you wouldn't be able to see the grille as predominant as you can because it's silver instead of all monochromatic. But if we come to the side, again, this is not a V6. You can upgrade to a mild hybrid V6, which pushes 395 horsepower. But again, this is a 4. When I got in this car, I thought it was a 6. Then I did my homework and realized this is a P250, and I thought it was a 6-cylinder, so good for Jaguar. The car feels powerful, it's responsive, it's there. It doesn't feel like a 200 horsepower vehicle at all. On the side here, we've got 18-inch rims. You can option in for 19 or 20 of them. These are your base rims. It's got the platinum finish with the actual exterior color painted to match on the side, which is actually nice. I believe that would be the upgrade, but the 18s are the standard rim in the F-Pace. If you come over, again, it doesn't have the black package, so everything, like the stainless steel here, the finishing on the sides here, and on the bottom, it's consistent with the front of the vehicle, which is actually really appealing to the eye. It's not like the monochromatic package makes everything black on the whole car, but if you don't choose that, you get no consistencies, because a lot of manufacturers would keep this trim almost like that plastic, like matte black finish, which wouldn't tie in to this car at all, I don't think. So good on Jaguar for that. Cosmetically, I think it looks great. Again, premium fuel 91. It is a 4-cylinder, but they do recommend, because the turbos, it does need the higher octane for performance. Again, at the back, no exhausts or anything like that. It's just really clean. You got the stainless steel roof rails matching the whole entire vehicle. You got your LEDs, which is nice. Hands-free is standard in this vehicle, tailgate-wise, sorry. So you can kick your foot underneath and the trunk will open for you. It is a power tailgate that is standard. Again, Jaguar is gonna feel a bit more premium, I find, than the Q5, which we just previously reviewed. I actually drive a Q5 myself, and I do think this vehicle feels, and the fit and finish is a bit better than that car. 360 camera is not standard, it's an option, but backup camera is standard. Let's take a look at the trunk. Again, this isn't a full-size SUV, it's a subcompact, like mid-level SUV. So practicality-wise, I think it's there. I mean, like the trunk is deep. You can definitely fit a hockey bag. I find the only thing with the F-Pace is that it's a bit more narrow than I would have liked. Like at least with the Q5, the sides expand. So like my driver reference, my golf bag, I don't have to take it out in that car, where in this vehicle, I most certainly would have to. But otherwise, it's pretty deep. It seems like it's a bit deeper than the Q5, which is nice. I do like that. This comes standard. You can take this off. I probably would. I think it occupies a lot of space. For reference, like if we take this off, like look how much depth you're losing when that's attached. Like we're talking a couple inches here. So like if you're trying to load that bigger box or whatever it is, it definitely wouldn't fit with the privacy cover in. And it's a bit of a hassle to take off. So that's one thing I'll knock for the Jaguar. It should just be, let me take this off, pull it out of the car and put it back in. But there's a couple steps to something that should be very simple. Power tailgate, again, there's no lock feature on this specific vehicle. So you just push it and it closes. Let's go take a look inside the vehicle. All right, so now we're in the 2024 F-Pace. Again, this is the entry level. It's not the mild hybrid V6, but it doesn't look like that at all in the interior. You have full deviated stitching, consistent all throughout the vehicle, and almost like a white finish with which ties nice to the seats. Memory seating, you'll have that. This car is optioned with the upgraded Medarian sound, so it is 3D listening. It's really good audio, I find. The two-tone steering wheel, I love it. It's got that British, almost like Rolls-Royce finish to it. Cosmetically, I think it looks really good. It's got a sporty feel. Even the buttons, like, again, I'm saying this car is a year, probably 2 years old now, and it's about 45,000. So take that into consideration when you're watching this, because for 45,000, you're getting a lot in this car. Like adaptive cruise control is there, heated steering wheel, heated seats, cooled seats, hands-free, Apple CarPlay is all there, panoramic roof is there. Jaguar did a really nice job. Like if you look at the seat here, you have the prancing Jag here, which is nice and bordered into the seat. Like you don't find that fit and finishing in a lot of vehicles at this price point. Like look at the touchscreen here. It's the same touchscreen that you would get in like a $200,000 autobiography full-size range. So it has that prestigious feel to it because it's consistent throughout the board. Again, this is a Jaguar. It's not a Land Rover or a Range Rover, but they do coexist together. So you'll find similarities through the interiors of both brands. At the bottom here, you'll have your climate control for both the driver and passenger. And then here, just little storage. So 2 cup holders, which is nice. Your start and stop button is there. Audio, I kind of really love this. So you can just scroll up and or down. It's a legitimate button. It's not like Mercedes-Benz where you're kind of scrolling on the dial. Am I doing it? Am I not doing it? Nope. It's an actual button where you can increase or decrease your volume or just push in to minimize the volume. If you wanted to navigate through your screen, you could do that through here or physically touch button. So you'll have your navigation, your phone, music. Again, everything seems to be pretty responsive. And the software, again, it looks like a $200,000 Range Rover SV. So the fit and finishing, again, like I mentioned earlier, you got a leather dash up here, deviated stitch in white, which is nice because it ties in the interior. The decor here, I think you can choose carbon fiber or almost like a pine wood kind of finish. But the previous owner of this car decided to go with just the basic. I think it ties in well to the white interior because even if you look at the doors, it's consistent, it all matches. Let me know below if you're at a Jaguar dealership and you're customizing your brand new Jaguar F-Pace. Would you choose a wooden trim because it kind of gives it that English finish? Or would you go minimalistic and do you think this finishing is solid because it's a free option? Let's take a look at the back. All right, so we're in the back. Again, I find the cabin space a little bit tighter than the Q5. Like I'm sitting how I would normally sit in my Q5 and I feel like I've got a little bit less room back here. But needless to say, I think the cabin space is very similar. It could just be the layout. Again, I did mention previously that the trunk is a bit deeper, which is obviously going to sacrifice a bit of space inside the cabin. But seats are comfortable, the leather feels good. It's stiff, it's hard, but it also has like a soft finish. The details on the doors are consistent with the front dash, which is nice. So it's that black with deviated stitch in the white. Again, Medarian sound is the upgrade in this car. The sound system's incredible. And then the fit and finishing, again, what we mentioned before, the decor, it's also passed down to the rear passenger doors, which is nice because a lot of SUVs at this level, it kind of is like everything's tailored to the driver and passenger. And then when you get to the back, nothing's really consistent. So good for Jaguar for doing that. You got your heated seats, 2 USB-Cs, and a 12-volt outlet, which is nice as well. And then you have this beautiful big panoramic roof. Let's go take a look at the engine bay. All right, let's take a look at this engine bay. Again, it surprised me that this was a P250. I thought this was the upgraded 3.5 mild hybrid 400 horsepower car. So good on Jag. This really doesn't feel like a 200 horsepower car. But again, as mentioned in the previous videos, this does seem a bit busy. Everything in here, just leave to us. Call MVL, we'll service your cars. We're happy to do that. But the only thing you'll have to touch is they separated it pretty well, I find, in this car, is this is your battery. If you're going to the cottage or whatever it is, and you're leaving your car at home and it's -30 outside like it is today, and you want to plug in your car, you could do that. It's pretty easy, positive, negative, and then your washer fluid here. Again, washer fluid, not engine oil or whatever it is. The blue cap is washer fluid, which is great. And then this piece is actually pretty cool. Not a lot of people know, like, why is this black fabric here? You'll find that on a lot of German cars and English cars. And what that is, it's almost like a blanket. So if your car ever caught fire, it actually dissolves this and it could potentially put it out. I'm not saying it'll do that every 100% of the time, because that's not the case, but it does help with that specific issue if it were to ever catch fire. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay, so that's a quick basic review of what an F-Pace has to offer. You let me know. To be honest with you, I haven't really driven it. I'm pretty inexperienced with Jaguars. Full transparency, I'm more of a German guy. But at the end of the day, having driven the vehicle, being behind the wheel, the fit and finish is pure quality. It's very similar to like a high-scale Range Rover. It doesn't feel like it would be like, this car's $45,000. It doesn't feel like that at all. The power, it did surprise me. It's a 4-cylinder, but it almost feels like a 6. The throttle is a lot more responsive than the Q5, I would say. So let me know your thoughts down below. Would you choose the F-Pace, Q5, or what other car would you consider in this specific segment? I'm Jonathan, and thanks for watching.